Mizo National Front is back in the state, ending 10 years of Congress rule. And with that, Congress has been wiped out of Northeast. And I have with me the Chief Minister, Mr. Zoramthanga, who is just back from Delhi and had a meeting with the Prime Minister. Let's talk to him. Sir, welcome to DD News and congratulations on your victory in Mizoram. And you had a meeting with the Prime Minister. So how was the meeting there?
Well, we have a very good and a warm meeting with the Prime Minister. He welcomed me because we have been all friends. During the Congress regime, we have been together as an opposition chief minister for 10 years or more. So we have a personal touch with us, and when he saw me, he was delighted and congratulated me for defeating the Congress and established a government of the MNF. And when we met the Prime Minister, we have a very good discussion and quite a lot of important points I discussed with him. For example, one point is about the separate cadre for Mizoram. And I told him. And the other point is about the Citizenship Amendment Bill also. And many other points I raised with him. And so he listened to me. And as far as possible, I should say that he really welcomed me and have a lot of positive views in these matters.
So when we talk about issue-based support for the Modi government at the center, so what are those issues on which you and the center agree together and both can work together for the benefit of Mizoram?
Well, there are a lot of common issues, like the development issue, administrative issue, even some political issues.
So the Modi government is very keen to develop the Northeast, especially the tourism sector. So how do you see the infrastructural development, the tourism development, and the plans of the Modi government for the Northeast, especially Mizoram?
As far as Mizoram is concerned, there is a big chance of the development of the tourism, and we are thinking and we are trying our level best to bring in as many tourists as possible here in Mizoram. But the only hitch, the greatest problem is the communication. For example, the roads and other means of communication. Therefore, we are trying to develop the neglected roads of the previous 10 Congress years government regime. And we are trying to improve so that we can attract the tourists. And I believe that central government is also very open in the matter of the development of tourism. Here in Mizoram also, that is what they told me.
So as far as the roads are concerned, I've also seen that road construction has already started and people are saying that your party is back and so we can have good roads now in the state. Let me tell you that the central government has this Swadesh Darshan scheme under the tourism sector, and I've also been to some of them, the golf courses coming up. Also you have adventure ecotourism at Rayag. So how do you see these projects for the benefit of your state?
Well, there is a lot for this ecotourism. As far as all historical sites and buildings and all monuments are concerned, we are not rich because this is a new land. But as far as ecotourism, we have beautiful hills, we have a beautiful forest and a lot of river valleys and a lot of things which the tourism will like to see. Therefore, in this matter, in as much as the central government is interested, we are also interested. And my intention is first improve the road condition and then attract the tourism. And here I am certain that with a good atmosphere, I should say that a good weather and a good climate and a beautiful landscape, we shall be able to attract a lot of tourists here.
Well, definitely, because Mizoram also has a temperate climate and the topography is excellent and there's peace in the state. So now with your government taking on and also the Modi government at the center, how do you see Mizoram progressing?
Well, we are trying to make Mizoram an example of the Northeast states. But not only that, even for the other Indian states, we are trying to set an example. Number one, in the field of development, because here the greatest asset that we have here is that land, very fertile land, in which everything, right from the coconut that grows on the seashore up to the grapes and apple that grows on the snowbound area thrives well here. And it can feed 3 to 4 times the present population. And one of the, I should say that one of the highly educated place, speaking more or less one language, one culture, one religion, and the most peaceful state. And believe that in the underground there's a lot of gas and oil. And with all these economies, with all these treasures, it only needs a little of uranium to explode this atomic molecule of wealth. Therefore, we are trying to make Mizoram an example, making one of the highest income per capita income in the state of India within a short time. But anyhow, to do this, we need the assistance of the central government. My government, as the owner of the land, not as a gauged political party, but as the owner of the government, I mean the owner of the land. Since the owner, if the owner is looking after this, things have greatly changed, and I believe that within not one term, but at least within 2 terms of my term, we shall be able to make Mizoram an example in the per capita income and in all fields of development.
So you are back once again. So what are the issues that you would like to focus upon, the issues that were left when you were there, and then there was a 10 years of Congress regime, and sitting in the opposition, you must have also realized that what could be done for the state?
Well, number one is to build the economy of the poor people and all the people. That is, as I have said, we have more than enough land. Therefore, the flagship program will be the plantation of the bamboo, because during my previous regime in the world, nobody can properly make a protocol for the tissue culture of a bamboo. Bamboo seeds, we can have the bamboo seeds at an interval of 50 years, because bamboo flowers only at an interval of 50 years. So we cannot wait for that 50 years to get the bamboo seeds. We need the tissue culture. But in the world, well, there is a bamboo congress there in Delhi in my time. Nobody among the bamboo scientists could make a protocol for the tissue culture of the bamboo. That was the failure. I could not get the seeds, even though they jokingly called me the bamboo chief minister. So I said that it's not failure of the politician, it's the failure of the scientists. But by 2010, one company, the Growmore Biotech of Dr. Bharati in Hosur, near Bangalore, they could make the seeds, that is the protocol for the tissue culture of one kind of bamboo, that is brandishi, and later on to my bamboo latifloras. So now everything is in the open with this bamboo plantation, which would be an example, not only in India, but in the whole world. I am trying to make an example of bamboo plantation successful here. And this portion I have told even the Prime Minister and to all other ministers whom I saw in Delhi. In this way, I try to revolutionize Mizoram economy by means of a bamboo plantation. That is one thing. That is the overground. Then the underground, as I have said, we have a lot of oil and gas, and which we will explore, that would feed really. For example, in one place, while they are doing the drinking, there is a reserve of gas. Even in one place, 3 billion cubic meter of gas there in one drinking hole center. So we have to explore it, and with this. And
So what did the Prime Minister say, especially on the oil and gas or the rich reserves of the Mizoram? What was his reaction? Because I believe that Indian Oil has already started exploring things here.
Well, Prime Minister, central government is very positive in this matter everywhere. But the only thing is that state government has to help them. Because for the oil riggers, they need a good road. For example, they have a long machine which a vehicle has to carry. If the roads are too crooked and this, they cannot do that.
So what instructions have you passed to your administration that you build good roads as soon as possible?
Exactly. That is the main target of that. My main target is to build a road so that the oil could be rigged and the gas could be rigged and all these things. They can do the drilling. That is one thing. Responsibility to a very great extent raised on the Mizoram government, not on the center in this matter. And then the second thing is that I am trying to make Mizoram where there is not much a problem of traffic jam. That is by making a elevated road with my own system. And then from my own budget, making a parking site on the roadside. By parking almost all the cars, all the vehicles in the parking house near the main road, and by making elevated road in the mainland, we shall be able to a very great extent solve the traffic jam system. So I told the authorities down there in Delhi that in the northeast, I am trying to make Aizawl capital the place where there is no a very big traffic jam. Of course, not a single traffic jam is there that that kind of thing could not be made, because after all there's a lot of vehicles, but nevertheless I am trying to make it a capital in which traffic jam in the northeast is the least.
As the Chief Minister said that he is also trying to make good roads so that the natural resources of the state could be utilized to its optimum. Sir, the natural resources were always there, but why the Congress failed? Was there because a different government at the center and at the state, and now you have a government where you have both joined hands for the betterment of the state?
Well, the only very easy answer is that the Congress is a Delhi party, and they are the guest political party. When they form the government, they are the guest. We are the owner. Our party is Mizo National Front, which fought for Mizoram in an underground period for 20 years. The real owner. We have sacrificed thousands of lives for that. So the difference between the guest and the owner is remarkably far. Therefore, we are the owner. That's the difference.
The Chief Minister claims that the Congress is a guest party which is Delhi based, and let me tell you, the Chief Minister has had a long fight against the government at the center, and that time it was a Congress government and he had to fight it out before he was a politician. So how challenging was it, and how do you feel now you are the Chief Minister and now you have power in your hand, and that time you were fighting against the authorities?
Well, you know, there is a time when the government of India fought against us. There is a time when we fought against the government of India. But after a long time negotiation, we have come to the peace accord. Now we have signed the peace accord. All the requirements which we needed for the Mizoram government, we put it there in the constitution in Article 371G. We are more or less satisfied with that. Now we have a very good relation with central government, so no need to fight with them. We are going to work together and cooperate with each other.
So as you heard the Chief Minister saying that the party at the center is supporting the party and the government here in the state. Sir, as your government comes, there is a slogan of the no liquor in the state. So how do you define that?
Well, even now, prohibition is in practice. So we have imposed the prohibition as far as possible. But the present liquor permit the previous government gave last till the end of March, we cannot simply ignore that. Number one is that, of course, we put it under a dry day scheme. And when this is over, we will legislate the prohibition. And then we are trying to do that now. No liquor is sold here in Mizoram.
So you will go ahead with your prohibition policy?
Exactly. We will certainly go together with the prohibition policy.
So now talking about the horticulture in the state, it is so beautiful that you see a lot of flowers here. Anthurium is one of them. Mizoram is one of the largest producer. So how do you see this thing? How do you plan to develop, especially the horticulture in the state?
Well, when we say horticulture, there are two things. Now, bamboo, my flagship program, is under the horticulture, because they say that bamboo is not a tree.
It's a grass.
Therefore,
thanks to the Modi government.
Yeah, therefore, my flagship program goes together with the horticulture. Number two, here in the production of other things also, the horticulture, the normal department that they look after still is there. That is why even though I'm the chief minister, horticulture become my portfolio.
So there you heard the Chief Minister. He is thanking the Modi government that took the decision that bamboo is not a wood, not a tree, it's a grass, and it goes with his ideology. We'll take a small break here, short break here, and talk with the Chief Minister continues.
धन की ताकत से गौरव की पहचान है हम, शुद्धता के वादे से हर कदम साथ है हम। RINL वाइजैक स्टील।
दादी जी, आपकी उंगली की छाप मशीन नहीं पढ़ पा रही, माफ करना, आपको अब राशन नहीं मिल पाएगा।
मैं बहुत दूर से आई हूँ, कुछ तो तरीका होगा।
तरीका है आंटी। अगर कभी उंगलियों की छाप या फिर आंखों का स्कैन ना हो या कोई और वजह से वेरीफाई ना हो पाए, तो कानून है कि कोई भी दुकानदार राशन देने से मना नहीं कर सकता। आधार लेटर या फिर आधार की कॉपी लेकर या उस पे छपे QR कोड को स्कैन करके दुकानदार को राशन देना ही पड़ेगा। और इतना ही नहीं, परिवार का कोई और भी सदस्य जिसका नाम राशन कार्ड पर लिखा हो, वो भी अपनी उंगलियों की छाप देकर राशन ले सकता है।
क्या सच?
हाँ बिल्कुल। चलिए आपका आधार डाउनलोड करके प्रिंट लेते हैं। इसीलिए मैं हूँ आधार के साथ।
मेरा आधार, मेरी पहचान।
अपने टू व्हीलर को दीजिए हाईएस्ट माइलेज का इंश्योरेंस नेशनल इंश्योरेंस की लॉन्ग टर्म टू व्हीलर पैकेज पॉलिसी के साथ। नेशनल इंश्योरेंस, ट्रस्टेड सिंस 1906।
पक्की होगी बुनियादें तो हंसे हिंदुस्तान होगा। पहले करो शुरुआत करो, करो तो पक्की बात करो। पहले करो शुरुआत करो, करो तो पक्की।
वंडर सीमेंट, एक परफेक्ट शुरुआत।
शेड्यूल कास्ट, शेड्यूल ट्राइब के एंटरप्रेन्योर के लिए एक हब के निर्माण का आज लुधियाना की धरती पर पूरे देश के लिए इस योजना का मैं शुभारंभ कर रहा हूं।
नेशनल SC/ST हब MSME मंत्रालय भारत सरकार की योजना। ये हब SC/ST उद्यमियों के लिए कार्य कर रहा है। सरकारी खरीद में शामिल होने का रास्ता आसान हुआ है। प्रशिक्षण भी दिया जा रहा है। हब के अंतर्गत कुछ नए कदम भी उठाए गए हैं। बैंक से लोन लेने की प्रोसेसिंग फीस, सरकारी टेंडर की बैंक गारंटी, मान्यता प्राप्त लैब में जांच के शुल्क की रीएम्बर्समेंट शामिल है। मैनेजमेंट कोर्स की फीस की वापसी का भी प्रावधान है। और अधिक जानकारी के लिए SC/ST हब के नजदीकी शाखा कार्यालय से संपर्क करें। टोल फ्री नंबर 1800-11-1955 या scSThub.in पर भी संपर्क कर सकते हैं।
अरे मैं हूं ना, चिंता क्यों कर रहे हैं? फुल सेटिंग कर लेते हैं हम लोग। एक मिनट, जानते हैं मेरा बाप कौन है?
भाई साहब, कौन नहीं जानता। 1892 में वो पहले भारतवासी थे जो ब्रिटिश पार्लियामेंट में इलेक्ट हुए थे। उनकी किताब पॉवर्टी इन अन ब्रिटिश रूल इन इंडिया ने ही अंग्रेजों की लूट के बारे में हम हिंदुस्तानियों की आंखें खोल दी थी। आप पारसी लोग जो हैं हमारे देश की शान हैं।
मैं आपको पारसी दिख रहा हूँ?
आप पारसी नहीं है, आप पारसी नहीं है, हैं? आप दादा भाई नौरोजी के बेटे, मतलब ये रोड आपके बाप की नहीं है?
मैंने कब कहा ये रोड मेरे बाप की है?
फिर बिना सीट बेल्ट पाए फोन पे गल कर दे, शर्म नहीं आती तोनू? हेलो, पैसे पार देना।
पाजी फर्ज करो ए रोड मेरे बाप दी होंदी, फिर
ते मैं उन्नू भी फड़ लेंदा। आपकी और सबकी सुरक्षा के लिए ट्रैफिक नियमों का कृपया पालन कीजिए, क्योंकि रोड किसी के
बाप के नहीं है।
शाबाश। सड़क सुरक्षा, जीवन रक्षा।
बढ़ते कदम है बेटियों के, सोच है बदलाव की। गांव-गांव संवर गया है, सोच नव निर्माण की।
राम राम काका।
सुबह सुबह कहाँ चली बिटिया रानी?
गांव की तरक्की करने।
ये तरक्की की हलचल है, ये तरक्की की हलचल है। मेरा भारत अब डिजिटल है, मेरा भारत अब डिजिटल है।
डिजिटल इंडिया के तहत CSC के द्वारा गांव का स्वरूप बदल गया है। जो काम करवाने दूर शहर में जाना पड़ता था, वो सर्विसेज अब गांव-गांव पहुंच गई हैं, ताकि गांव कहीं पीछे न रह जाए। और इन्हें पूरा कर रहे हैं गांव के लोग और ऐसी सशक्त महिलाएं।
मेरा भारत अब डिजिटल है।
आपकी उंगली की छाप मशीन नहीं पढ़ पा रही, आपको अब राशन नहीं मिल पाएगा।
कुछ तो तरीका होगा।
तरीका है आंटी। अगर कभी उंगलियों की छाप या कोई और वजह से वेरीफाई ना हो पाए तो कानून है कि कोई भी दुकानदार राशन देने से मना नहीं कर सकता। आधार लेटर या फिर ई आधार की कॉपी लेकर या उस पे छपे QR कोड को स्कैन करके दुकानदार को राशन देना ही पड़ेगा। चलिए आपका आधार डाउनलोड करके प्रिंट लेते हैं। मैं हूँ आधार के साथ।
मेरा आधार, मेरी पहचान।
Welcome back after the break. We are in conversation with the Chief Minister of Mizoram, Mr. Zoramthanga, and as he is fondly called as the Bamboo Chief Minister, let's talk more about it. How do you take this when people call you Bamboo Chief Minister?
Well, I believe that the creator of Mizoram and the world, God, has given a lot of bamboo in the beginning. These may signals that God would have told us that, look here, you the Mizo people, how much I have given you of this bamboo. This shows that your land can be economically improved by means of a bamboo. That's a kind of signal that we receive from God. And at the same time, one thing I like to say is that a bamboo shoots when it starts in the month of June, and by the end of December, after 6 months, it becomes as big as the mother bamboo and as tall as the mother bamboo. You will find no other tree which can be as big as a mother tree in 6 months. Even the well planted and the bananas, they cannot be as big as their mother in 6 months. No. But what I like to say is that the bamboo, in order to be as big as the mother bamboo in 6 months, it has to take a lot of food. It has to breathe in a lot of carbon dioxide and then gives out a lot of oxygen. Therefore, the scientists said that the bamboo takes in carbon dioxide and gives out oxygen 5 times more than that of a tree, because it needs a lot of food to be as big as the mother bamboo in 6 months. So, in order to purify the atmosphere, bamboo is the best that nature can give.
So there you heard the Chief Minister saying that it is also an air purifier, and for a man like me who is from Delhi, which is full of pollution for all the reasons that we know, man-made reasons, Mizoram is the place to refresh your lungs. From bamboo to bamboo dance of Mizoram is very popular. So do you also like to dance, and how do you plan to take it to next level?
Well, we have to popularize bamboo. And then bamboo dance, as you have said rightly, is the traditional bamboos of the Mizos. So it's very good, we should popularize it. Then the other point is that, bamboo, which can be as big as the mother bamboo in 6 months. And when we process it, it is a total substitute of timber. It is good for the flooring, it is good for the wall, and it is good for the ceiling, and it is good for furniture and everything. Total substitute of timber. In order to harvest a timber, it needs 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. Bamboo, just in 2 years or 3 years to be mature. Of course, in 6 months it can be as big as the mother, but it is still soft. But in order to be hard and mature, it needs 2 to 3 years. Therefore, within 2 to 3 years, it can be mature and it can be utilized to totally substitute timber. Therefore, apart from the easily harvestable it is, then it purifies the atmosphere and then greatly revolutionize the people's economy. This is the kind of thing that God, I believe, has sent as a signal that you, Zoramthanga, you try to set an example for this bamboo. And when I spoke about this, even the Prime Minister of Bangladesh is very enthusiastic, because there in the Chittagong Hill Tract, they have more than 10,000 square kilometers of land, wherein the bamboo can thrive very well. Same is with Burma, same is with other parts of Northeast. So what I am trying to do is that by means of a bamboo plantation, we shall be able to revolutionize not only the economy of Mizoram, but even the economy of the Northeast.
So when we talk about Northeast, it's a look East, act East policy of the Prime Minister. So how do you see that Mizoram can play a key role as far as the gateway towards Southeast Asia is concerned?
Well, it's very easy. For example, when a lot of commodities and goods come from Burma and have to pass through India, if it has to pass through Manipur and other areas, there are a lot of insurgencies. Therefore, it's quite a problem. A lot of insurgency fee has to be paid by the traders. But here in Mizoram, there is no such thing. Once we make the road and pass through it, and it can go very freely without any problem of this kind. And at the same time, they're in Situ, previously Aikya of Burma, a port. Through that, from Mizoram, we can send a lot of things outside and use it as a seaport. And at the same time, Chittagong in Bangladesh. From Chittagong, in a waterway, it can reach the border of Mizoram in one day, by waterway, through the Kaptai Dam in Chittagong. Therefore, it's very, very appropriate, it's very convenient that Mizoram should take a linkage in the East-West communication system in the field of Look-East policy. But at the same time, simply to be used as a road, to be used simply as a means of communication, it's not good. We have to be self-sufficient. The land has to be productive. Therefore, here in Mizoram, we have the base option, that is, as the economy says, that it is a primary sector development. That is the produce of the land, which can feed 3-4 times the present population. We have to utilize it. And then with this Look-East policy, we can participate very, I should say, properly in that line also.
So how do you react on the vision of the Prime Minister that he decided that we have to look towards East, we have to act on East?
Well, if India has to look west, nearest is Pakistan, down there is Afghanistan, and beyond that is Iran and the Arab world, in which a lot of problems are there. But here in the east, the next is Mizoram, Burma, Thailand, China, Japan, Korea, and especially for the Mizo, since we are from the Mongoloid stock, they're all our friends, our brothers in blood. Therefore, it's very convenient for us also. And for India, we have to look into the east, because Japan is there, Korea is there, Thailand is there, and even China is there, because they are all the developed countries of Asia. Therefore, since we are in Asia, we can have a coordination in this matter.
So now from Look East, Act East policy to the natural resources of Mizoram. Now from bamboo to the flowers of your state. So how do you plan to develop that part also? Because Mizoram, the temperate climate, it helps a lot.
Certainly. In Mizoram, there are more than 70,000 hectares of cultivable land. If we cultivate all these things, all these lands, it can feed Mizo people with rice, wheat and vegetable from the 70,000 hectares of land. We can be self-sufficient in food grain, number one. And as far as the economic product, as the economists used to say, that with a primary production system, primary economic base system, well, as I have said, it can feed 3 to 4 times the present population. And therefore, by utilizing the land that we have, where everything thrives well, but we have to identify the kind of crops or the kind of those things which we will have to plant. So we have identified the bamboo, and with this, raising the economy of the people, and at the same time self-sufficient, and below is the underground where there's full of oil and gas. I think that Mizoram can be one of the highest per capita income in all the states of India. We have all those plus points here.
You had a meeting with the Prime Minister. In one line, how would you define it?
Well, the Prime Minister, number one, he's a very, I should say that he's one of a very good gentleman, and very progressive and very kind. And I think that of all the Prime Ministers that we have here in India, Prime Minister Modi, I like him best. And I think he's the best Prime Minister that we have ever had.
So there you heard from the Mizoram Chief Minister, and he says that Prime Minister Modi is the best Prime Minister he has ever had, he has ever seen, he has ever met. And with that, we come to an end of this interview. Mr. Zoramthanga has had a very positive meeting with the Prime Minister, and he hopes that with the Modi government at the center and Zoramthanga's Mizo National Front here in the state, both joining hands for the development, for the progress of Mizoram. So thank you so much for talking to DD News, and we hope to look forward to more good works from your government.
Thank you very much. You are welcome.